but they will fight for the truthful queen heir, Rhaenyra Targaryen. Okay.
This when Rhaenyra gonna earn her Emmy for this season.
We were talking about this, but he had the audacity to look around and be like, "Who shot me? You know, I'm the heir to the throne." And he gets shot. I was looking. The best part of the episode was her whole performance. Emma Darcy's performance.
He said, "Girl, this is the wrong time to feel weak in front of these people. We ain't here on day one. Girl, get it together." You look at her. He said, "Do it." I was trying to imitate it, but I'll try to do my best.
She was like, and then like, it was
Hola.
What's going on, everybody? It's Josh.
Josh.
It's Lane.
And Alex.
And we are here with a TV review. We've normally been doing movies, but obviously this is the hottest TV show out right now, so we are going to be reviewing the first 2 episodes of Season 3 of House of the Dragon. And let me tell you, if you guys aren't watching this show, you need to be watching this show because it is so good. We're going to get into it today, but we're going to do a little bit different today. We're going over the first 2 episodes, as you can see by the title, but we're going to list our top 10 moments from the episode and then kind of talk about that a little bit into this video. But yeah, a little different formula to today's video, but super excited to get into it. It was a crazy 2 episodes, and while we're filming this, the show's halfway over already, so we'll be back with our new episodes hopefully by the end of the week and beginning of next week. But yeah, so we are starting off. As you can see, Podrick's here too. He wanted to give you his 2 cents about the show. But I think first, I really just started with the first episode. First, we can actually talk about waiting a year to see, you know, this season 3, because we've been waiting a hot minute. But now that it's finally here, it's super exciting.
Yeah.
And like we said, we're gonna break down the 10 moments from the first episode. And I guess you want me to start it off? Or?
Yes.
Right. So the first big bullet point of the season picks up in King's Landing, and it's Alicent's surrender. And basically what pertains to that is Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower, who's no longer the queen, but is still kind of, you know, doing some of the queen roles. She returns to King's Landing, fully intending to hand over the city to Rhaenyra. You know, as we saw, they had that conversation at the end of season 2, trying to give Rhaenyra, you know, the throne, because she doesn't want any more bloodshed. She knows what she's done has been more terrible than good, and at this point, she just wants to get over it, wants to give Rhaenyra the crown, and wants to move on. But fails, because once she finds and comes back, she sees that her second son, Aemon, is not happy that she has been missing. She was gone for like a hot minute, so she went to Dragonstone and then had to come back. So that's a little bit of a trip, but he just, all in all, to say he was super mad. And when she finally came back, he had something to say. But that leads into the second big point of the episode.
Isn't that when they kissed?
Yeah, that's right after. So he takes the throne. Well, asserts himself on the throne, and during that whole sequence, yeah, him and his mom share a kiss, and that's so awkward. Like, it was awkward on so many levels. You could tell homegirl that plays Olivia Cook plays Alicent. She was acting, bitch. She's doing a great job. Uncomfortable. She'd be acting with her eyes, and she's really good. And I'm enjoying a lot of Alicent so far this season. But yeah, how about that? Aemon taking the throne because Aegon is missing.
Yes.
He says somebody's got to sit the throne. It might as well be me. You know, because he always wanted to be king. He's always felt resentment because he's the second born. Nobody gives a crap about the second born because it's all Aegon. You know, Aegon was the heir. Yeah. He's the king. Yeah. But yeah. So it kind of went by really quick too, because that also segues into the third big point. And the big talk of the town is Aegon, the king, has gone missing, and nobody knows where he went. Once Aemon takes the throne, he threatens the Grand Maester that's in King's Landing, right? And he's like, where is he? I know you know where he is, but of course the Grand Maester has no idea where he is. He just vanished in the night, but now we know it was Clubfoot and Aegon left because they knew. Well, Clubfoot's got his own hidden agenda, hasn't fully put it out yet, but he took Aegon, and they're currently on the run to the start of this season, and that's where they pick up with them. But then that's also T too, because Aegon's whole arc this season is going to be kind of crazy to watch, because you went from top dog king to now you in the streets running for your life. Don't even look the same too. He all burned and stuff. So crazy.
Very ugly. To continue on, the next one is that Rhaenyra gets placed under house arrest. So this was so dumb. So Jace gets all nervous because Rhaenyra was like, I'm gonna go out there and fight, fight for mine. And then Jace was like, Mama, don't go fight for nothing. You the queen. And she was like, well, if I die, you'll be the king. Ain't that what don't they want a man anyway? And he was like, go. Yeah. I'm 16. No, you need to be alive, because what would all this be for? So he literally convinced the security guard to lock the queen behind her door.
I know.
While Jace went out there and went to fight.
And that was big too, because who are you to lock the queen in her chambers?
The queen.
And you the heir to the throne. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro? But that was definitely a decision.
Dumb one.
Fueled by emotions, because he's been struggling since season 2 about all of the decisions she's been making, and he wants to fight because he's a dragon rider and just wants to prove himself. And you're like, bro, chill. But that was an interesting moment. It was very sad, but we understood why he did that, and that kind of segues into what Daemon has been doing the first episode. And what we see with him is that the next big point of the episode is that the Winter Wolves arrive, meaning the Northmen and the Starks. So in the Riverlands, where the a lot of battle of the Dance of Dragons is going down, Daemon Targaryen unites his forces with the brutal Starks of the Winter Wolves house, led by rowdy Lord Roderick Dustin. They call him Roddy the Ruin, who pledges to kill for the Dragon Queen. That's a big kind of shift in the episode, because they don't have a lot of allies right now. A lot of allies are fighting for Team Green, not Team Black. And now that the North is fighting for Team Black, that gives them a big boost in the Battle of the Riverlands, and a lot more men that they did not have prior to the season, which is good. We love some Starks. Game of Thrones fans here. Every time we see the Starks, we're like, oh crap, they mean business. They take care of business in the North, but they will fight for the truthful queen heir, Rhaenyra Targaryen. Okay, but yeah, that was crazy that we got to see that. And then, ooh.
You want to say the new characters part?
Oh yeah, I did the winter one, but I could do it as well. But yeah, the next, it kind of segues into this one as well, but the new characters that kind of get introduced in this episode is Ormond Hightower, who is Alicent's cousin, who wields Vigilance, the ancestral Valyrian steel blade of House Hightower, which is a big deal because he's kind of like top dog of the Hightower family, because Otto, we don't know where Otto is, but we'll talk about that later, because we end up finding out where Otto is. But yeah, we get introduced to Ormond, who's also just terrible person, terrible man, but wants power and seeks as much power as possible. And we'll talk a little bit more in episode 2 why he's so important, because another character gets introduced in the next episode that we have heard of but have not seen yet. So that was really interesting, really exciting. But I am not here for Ormond Hightower. That guy sucks.
It's not obvious that he sucks yet. It'll be obvious by episode 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, very bad man. Okay, so then this is the biggest part of the episode right here. Well, everything here to the end, because the last part is the biggest part. But the Battle of the Golden explodes. So Shakaro, who was from the end of like season 1, or the last season, would be like, who is this lady they put in for no reason? It's because of this moment here. She joins fighting. No, what is it? I'm reading the wrong thing. No, ooh, my bad. It says, yes, her and Tywin Lannister lead the massive Triarchy fleet directly into Lord Corlys Valerion's blockade to break the choking siege. And so, in short, I feel like y'all should just watch this. It's much better than me explaining anything. It looks fantastic, very great, but this is a very like big moment to start the season off with, and you're kind of like, why are they fighting? But just know they fight. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, it looks really well done. The fact that it's all in the ocean, it was just really cool. And the fact that they came out in episode 1 swinging like that is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a big battle like that, and it was really cool. But that kind of segues into the next big point of episode 1, is that we pick up where Rhaena is. And Rhaena is the sister to Baela, who is, one of Rhaenyra's top dragon riders. And Rhaena's whole problem, she wants the dragon. She wants the dragon, doesn't feel useful. Well, bitch, she got the dragon. Okay, she's riding Sheep Stealer, the one that she's been feeding, and what kind of segues that she finally gets onto the dragon, but she can't control the dragon. But she goes to help fight in the battle of the Golem, which is, I understand why you do that, but the fact that you have no experience riding that dragon kind of blows my mind that you would want to go into battle riding it. But it was cool. Sheep Stealer's a big dragon, guys. Like, not as big as Vagar or Hugh Hamner's dragon, right? But still pretty big. Like, Sheep Stealer's a big dragon, and that is a costly decision that we will talk about here in a second. But that's also crazy that she got what she wanted. You know, she wanted a dragon, now she has a dragon, but that has consequences, and she's about to endure those for the rest of the season. But like I says, she joins the naval battle riding the wild dragon Sheep Stealer, but she loses control of the beast, leading to a friendly fire chaos as Sheep Stealer attacks Corliss's fleet. And that's bad because Corliss was whooping, you know, they butt. But the fact that this dragon start blowing they ships up, it's not good. And it kind of distracts people and becomes a whole thing.
Okay, and then the second to last thing is the brutal sea combat. The naval fighting turns highly personal. Admiral Corliss Valerion falls overboard while his illegitimate son, Alan of Hull, brutally kills the Triarchy leader, Shakro Lohar, in the water.
Yep.
Great scene. He almost didn't beat her.
Yeah.
Shakro, she don't play. She a woman, but she might as well be a man because she with
top
her.
Dog, yeah.
She stronger than a man, okay? Anyways, we're going to keep it at that.
It was just really cool. Plus, we finally got to see Alan, you know, in his element as to what Corliss wants him to be, and that's, you know, the master of ships.
Yeah.
Wants to be his successor. And that's really cool because it is his son at the end of the day, so, you know, he's bred for it. You know, that's what goes down. And then all of this leads up to the big moment at the end, literally the last 5 minutes of episode 1. So as we said, Rhaena's riding Sheep Stealer. She's riding Sheep Stealer, blowing ships up, and then, as we talked about earlier in this, a few bullet points back, so Bela and Jace end up deciding that once they lock Rhaenyra in her room, they're going to go to the battle and fight. So they're flying dragons, blowing up blockades, doing really well. But once Sheep Stealer pulls up, they don't know who's riding Sheep Stealer, and they see it as a threat. They all start battling each other. But then once Jace realizes that Rhaena's riding Sheep Stealer, he tries to stop his dragon from, you know, attacking her, which causes him to get punctured by one of the, it's like a harpoon, huge crossbow thing that they're shooting the dragons with, and that causes the dragons to fall into the water. And that's not that big of a deal because, you know, they're in the middle of this battle, but the dragon ends up sinking, and the sad thing is Jacaerys is there in the ocean floating on a barrel or a shipwreck, and then 2 seconds later he gets shot in the chest. And then we were talking about this, but he had the audacity to look around and be like, who shot me? You know, I'm the heir to the throne. And he gets shot twice more, and it kills him right there. He falls into the lake, and that's how episode 1 ends. And like we're saying, us talking about it does not do it justice. You guys gotta go check out that episode. Crazy way to open up a season, to kill the heir of the Iron Throne, Jacaerys Targaryen. Woo! Because she already lost one kid, and now this is her second kid. So it's about to go crazy in the next episodes. And that really leads us into episode 2. Because episode 2 comes out crazy too, comes out swinging.
So insert the flame screen right here.
Ooh, episode 2.
Okay, so the first part of episode 2. Now this one, Rhaenyra gonna earn her Emmy for this season. The Tragedy of the Golem. The episode opens silently with a grim look of the aftermath of the Battle of the Golem. Rhaenyra flies Jacaerys' body back to Dragonstone, and they walk him in. With the grieving, Rhaenyra is left to process the devastating losses.
And that was the best. That was low-key the best part of the episode, was her whole performance. Emma Darcy's performance on seeing Jace telling him, "Get up, I know you're faking," and then she just cries.
And then she just cries.
And like deals with it, and it's so sad, but it's so good. Like, and it's such a good performance.
And then the head guard, the Queen's guard, he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I need to give my life for this because you're right, this was dumb." And then she says, "Well, shouldn't I have you all killed if I think like that?"
Yeah.
She said, "Killing you will not bring back my son."
Mm-hmm.
And then something else that doesn't get mentioned is, Lord Corlys is on his land because everything got destroyed with his kids and Rhaena, whatever. But this is in the book, and he says, if this is war, to be one, I hope I never
Win
win another battle again, because he lost his home, his awards, his ships. He doesn't have anything now. But this is important to know, because he's going to get into some issues later on, evolving, that he doesn't have anything now, and certain people who are in power that he working with not understanding that. Okay.
And that segues into characters that we haven't seen in a hot minute. We get to see Ulf and Hugh Hamner, who are Rhaenyra's dragon riders, and it says, the dragons each clean house. The newly recruited bastards Hugh Hamner and Ulf the White join the fight, descending upon the mainland to wipe out the remaining forces of the Triarchy where that the battle took place in episode 1. Basically just cleaning house, burning everybody up. You know, they showed up a little bit late. But hey, they took care of business, you know, and that's what they're there for, and that's what the numbers and dragons do, is that you don't want to see them in the sky, because they're going to burn you up and it's not going to look good. But
yes. And then the next thing happened, they switch scenes. It goes to Aegon and Larys road trip. Maimed on the run, I hope I say that right. Anyways, Aegon and Larys strong face attacking Triarchy soldiers. Aegon fights back to save his own skin, but stubbornly insists on returning to Rook's Rest to reclaim his fallen dragon Sunfire, which they do go see. So basically, consider Aegon's full story from the rest of the season like, it's like Game of Thrones. Imagine Game of Thrones, how they had Daenerys and Pentos, and they had everything else going on in Queen's Landing, and it was like 2 completely separate stories, unrelated, going on at the same time, that they just go back and forth to, and that's what they're doing. So like, this season is really kind of giving more Game of Thrones than the other seasons do, because due to Aegon kind of going on his like House of the Seven Kingdoms type of like different kind of show-esque thing on the side, is like, it breaks away from the political parts of the kingdom, because his politics are going to be more like real life, regular people faking like he's not the king type issues, and it is a good contrast. It builds up better later on. So I'm starting to like it. Still don't like Aegon, but you will gain sympathy for him through his journey he's about to experience.
And then the next kind of big thing that happened, you know, is this whole next few scenes is about Team Black getting on the Iron Throne. So what happens first is that House Valerion, they mobilize, and they basically cut off all of trade to King's Landing. Like, the whole fleet pulls up, blocks everything off, so basically everybody in there is trapped. Like, there's no way to leave.
Yeah.
Hinting they want Rhaenyra to get to the Iron Throne. So that's cool that they all mobilize, block everything off, and nothing really crazy happens right there, but just knows like it's the first step in getting her to the throne. And that kind of easily transitions into the point number 5. Do you want me to say that one too? Or do you
you go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So number 5 is, it says Team Black descends on the capital, and this is big point of the episode. So Rhaenyra and Daemon arrive in King's Landing riding their dragons, and they're flanked by their other dragon riders, or dragon seeds is what they call them, Hugh Hamner and Ulf, and then Adam. Like, they're all flying together, but they all storm King's Landing, and crazy sequence, super cool. The fact that they have numbers and dragons just would scare anybody. You know, if you're in King's Landing and everything's blocked off and you see all these dragons coming at you, I'd be scared. I'd be real nervous. But this starts kind of the rest of the episode of them getting to King's Landing, because the rest of the episode's about to, it's about to be crazy. So, and that leads into them actually getting there. But they come to realize that Alicent told the truth. You know, Alicent told, you know, the guards, do not fire upon these dragons, let them land. But all the guys, you know, that are the knights of King's Landing, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, we gotta kill these dragons. She was like, no, stand down.
Yeah, stand down. And then she told them to stand down.
Told them to stand down, and they were surprised that actually happened. So they land in King's Landing. That transitions into the next, probably the second favorite scene of the episode for me, in my opinion. You want to talk about that one?
Yes. So the Coop and the Red Keep, Daemon violently cuts through the Red Keep guards and storms through the throne room. When the City Watch, the Gold Cloaks, suddenly side with Rhaenyra over Aemon, and the throne is hers without a massive siege. So, like, out of nowhere, well, Rhaenyra comes in there, they talking, and then the Gold Cloaks come in and just like, hey, we with the original queen, we ain't forgot. Yeah. So, which was a big deal, because that helped solidify Rhaenyra's reign, and everything moving forward. Now, I'm gonna get deep. You go for the next one.
But before we continue on, that whole section, the whole part of the episode was so cool because it was one shot, and her and Damon were just walking. You know, she's lived there her whole life, so she knows where she's going. She's just walking, and Damon's just cutting all these dudes down, and she doesn't even have to fight, but she's about to fight, and that's when the Gold Cloaks step in, and they're like, "No, we're riding with her," and then they look, you take it, which is really cool. But then that leads into the fate of Allison and Helena. So they try to escape King's Landing as part of the deal. You know, she's, I'm gonna get you here and there, but I'm gonna try to leave. But they get caught by the Gold Cloaks and basically are now prisoners of Rhaenyra and Daemon. And throughout the whole season, they're gonna be locked basically in a room. But they tried to escape and they couldn't. But it was just kind of like a little story thing. But what's key is when they bring them back, what happens as soon as they bring them back to the throne room, because that, well, those both are kind of like going at the same time. The next one that we're about to talk about, number 8 of the big moments, it's just so well done. Like,
yes,
it's so good.
So I'm just gonna say 8, but we didn't mention they found Otto potentially. They're like, basically for some reason Damon was under the ground, and this person who works under the ground came out of nowhere, and he says, "You have a gift from Lara Strong." We were like, Lara Strong leaving a gift? He evil. Why would he leave a gift? And to find out, Lara Strong put Otto, because remember Otto went missing last season out of nobody knew where Otto was all
He's supposed
season.
to head back to Old Town, yeah.
Laris literally locked up Otto and put him under the chambers where no water, no light. Like, Otto lived his worst life in there, just kept alive to die. So they pull him out and then they bring him forwards because they're like, bring forwards who is responsible. Since Aegon not here, somebody gonna die. So they brought up the council. They brought up the one man who, which we missed this. So Allison was finna get raped. I hate to say it like that, but it's just the truth. She was finna get raped by one of the councilmen who actually is a creep, who basically realized nobody was in there. And so he was like, "Hey, Allison, you giving up the thing. This ain't right. Well, I'm finna get some. Give it up, girl." And that's just terrible. Don't take that too hard, but it was true. But luckily, the Maester came in with the crew, and it just looked bad. It just, Allison was on the floor.
Yeah,
this man was over her. It looked bad.
Fighting for her life. Yeah.
So the Maester,
really bad.
So the Maester, luckily, he was with them folk. He came up with the crew. So the crew said, "You got to go." And so they went ahead and locked him down. So anyways, we back to the current setting. They bring them up because somebody got to die since Aegon ain't here. So both him and then they bring Otto out of nowhere. And then we already said they bring back Allison and Helena, but once they come, they don't come in until
after,
yeah. So basically, the tea is Rhaenyra had to kill them. Rhaenyra was feeling weak. Daemon, he said,
okay,
"Girl, this is the wrong time to feel weak in front of these people. And we ain't here on day one. Girl, get it together." So he said, "Do it." And he said, "Don't be scared." So Rhaenyra, she see Otto, she goes, "Ah!" And she hits him in the back. And she was like,
he gets stuck in his neck, like the sword.
Yes.
And then she had to do it a second.
And then she did it a second time.
Double tap, head comes clean off.
And then Daemon to the other guy, he was like, "Ha, my turn."
Yeah.
So he has too much fun killing people.
So they literally kill them, and then Allison and Helena come in like 2 seconds later, and they're like, "What's happening?" And Allison sees Otto's, because she didn't know where Otto was either. You know, nobody knew where he was. They just knew he left for Old Town, but he never arrived in Old Town. But now they know he was on the King's Landing, and then now he died. But Otto deserved it. It's all his fault. This whole story is all his fault. Like, it's all his fault. But that transitions into, Jasmine Ironrod, that's his name, right?
Yeah, we kind of low-key just said it. So the last scene, y'all, Rhaenyra ascends the throne.
Finally.
So the episode ends with dramatic blood-stained visual. Rhaenyra sits on the Iron Throne. Slowly, she took her time, and she explains this later, but she's on the Iron Throne, locking eyes with her horrified Allison, who saw her father's head chopped off, who she thought was in Old Town.
Yeah.
In a chilling final moment. And the cool thing is, they did some editing with the CGI, but you see her eyes go from seeing Allison like, "Oh my gosh, that's my girl. Like, I feel so sad for my girl," to it locking into like this. But this is what I had to do, look in her eye. I wish I could imitate it, but I'll try to do my best.
She was like, and then like, it was
menacing. It went from like, "Doe eyes, sorry girl, this is what I have to do," to "This is what I have to do."
Yeah.
And to not feel bad about saying word, but two feelings.
This is my throne.
And this is my throne. And so the producers at the end of this episode talked about this episode, and they said that
that look in her eye was very on purpose, because everything you see here forwards is not the Rhaenyra we came to love. This is the Rhaenyra from the book. Okay, from the book. If you read the book, this is Rhaenyra that we don't know.
Yeah.
And she's finna be a menace here, like slowly but surely here moving forwards. It's a hot mess.
And it's just, can you blame her? You lost 2 kids due to this family war that you didn't want to start because you're the truthful heir. But since your best friend got with your dad and had kids with him, that's literally caused all of this. And Otto, like we said, Otto Hightower is the cause of all of this. If he didn't force Alicent to be nice with Viserys wouldn't have picked Alicent to marry, you know. And it's crazy that it's only the first 2 episodes. Like you said, we'll be back with episodes 3 and 4 because we watched episode 5 last night.
Yes, y'all. We got more to say.
So good. But do we want to rank episodes like we do the movies? Would you want to do that? Or, I mean, it's all good, to be honest. Like,
did I give it like the 2 thumbs up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we could say it because I have 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'd also have two Josh's 2 thumbs up because it's just so good. Like, episode 1 was great and Jacaerys dies and we're like, oh shit. And then episode 2 is a little bit not as bad, but the acting in episodes 2 was so good. Like, Rhaenyra's acting, like I said earlier in this video, her mourning Jacaerys' death and not being able to like come to terms with it is so sad, but really good writing, really good acting,
Fantastical.
Just great. Like if you haven't watched episode 1, 2 yet, sorry for spoiling it, but go ahead and check it out.
Yes, y'all.
Comment House of the Dragon in the comment section. Also, didn't say this in the beginning of the video, but if you made it to the end of the video, go follow our Instagram, JoshandJoshMusic. Like this video, sub to our YouTube, would really appreciate it. And like I said, comment House of the Dragon so we know you guys watched the video. It'd be super awesome. And then last but not least, you can check out our full music discography. I know you heard it in the background this whole video. You can go check it out at joshandjosh.bandcamp.com.
Yes.
It's right there. We're putting it up on the screen. Boop. But go check it out. Let us know your favorite song. But we'll be back with episodes 3 and 4. Podrick, say bye. He said finally.
Adios, mi amigos.
Until next time, guys. We'll be back with episodes 3 and 4. And hopefully 5 and 6 after that. And then 7 and 8. But
see.
Woo!
Only 8 episodes, so sad.
I know.
The first season was 10. But they're going to stick with the 8. Save some money. Well, okay, y'all. Until the next one.
Peace.
Peace. Ciao.